Hi, ladies and gentlemen. I hope everybody is getting through this whole virtual learning experience. I did see that most of you guys have been turning in your assignments and the daily progress reports, which I do thank you for that. But let's talk about this Define Learning project that I have assigned for you. That's going to take the replacement of the earthquake structure buildings that we were going to build in class. So as you can see, it is the structural engineering earthquake resistance building. So we have been talking about earthquakes. We've really been talking about what an earthquake does, how they can do damage, and we also really talked about how we can record earthquakes and how we can actually assess them. So for this project, once again, you have your introduction in part 1. We can scroll down, you can kind of just read through everything, that there are examples, talk about populated areas. I am hoping that that the following week we will be able to return to school and we can watch San Andreas, but we'll talk about that at a later time. You do have some career videos. Obviously these questions, as I did last time, are going to be a classwork assignment. So what I am going to ask you to do is to complete them both on the Define Learning website as well as on the Google Doc that I will be sending out for this starting next week. But this is pretty much what we were going to do in class, looking at the structural design of buildings in earthquake-prone areas. So scrolling down, we're going to go to explore the background. So like our last defined learning project, I assigned the 3 project options individually, and then you all filled out a Google form of which product you are going to complete. So once I have that tally, I can start to remove you from the other 2 projects. So product 1 that you can do is going to be a diagram. So for this one, you're essentially going to create either a drawing of your building design, or you can, if you have materials at home to do this, you can create some sort of 3D model that will be similar to what you would have done in class. Key things that you do want to take a look at is how your foundation is going to be built, the type of materials that you would suggest for an engineer to use. So you really want to think of material that is both durable and flexible. I am asking you to create a Google slide presentation of this where you can upload pictures of your drawings and or of your 3D model if you have created one. Down here, if you click on your rubrics and scoring, let's see what there is. All right, I'm gonna have to post your rubric separately because I'm not sure where your rubric went on that one. But essentially the project is gonna be out of 85 points, so I will take a look at that for you. The second option that you do have is to write an editorial. So this is almost very similar to the letter of intent that some of you guys chose to do last time for the NASA consulting project. So for this one, you're going to be really discussing the importance of the type of material that will be used, and also considering how can other buildings and homes be reinforced. So this is where you really want to make the public and the community aware of how they can improve their homes. So in the event that an earthquake does happen, the structural damage would be reduced. So remember, the one thing, ladies and gentlemen, is that they did say that in the 10.0 Megaquake documentary that we did watch in class, that the earthquake strength is going to look like it's going to increase, but in actuality, our population has increased, and that's why we feel earthquake damages more than in the past. The third option that you do have, ladies and gentlemen, is an earthquake timeline and description. And for this one, ladies and gentlemen, you're really going to be focused on historical earthquakes that have hit our general area. I will be modifying this one a little bit and giving you the option of 3 different areas. I am going to have an area in California, perhaps an area in the Midwest, and then also an area possibly in Japan as well. But for this one, you're going to look at earthquake data for the past couple of years. The further you can go back, the better, so we can get a more concrete timeline. You do want to take a look at what it was on the Richter scale and on the moment magnitude scale. Any sort of aftershocks, death totals, unfortunately, injuries, view and infrastructure damage. You are also going to want to look at, once again, the materials that were used previously in these buildings, and how has the community and the area really, over time, reevaluated how they construct buildings in that area to reinforce earthquake safety. For this one, you once again will be creating a Google slide presentation. You have the student check-in, so this is going to be basically one of your classwork grades, where I will have you both posted on Google Classroom as well as in Defined Learning. The second thing, like we had before, part 3, is the research. Great videos for you guys to take a look at, as well as there are going to be some other resources for you, some articles that you can use. Ladies and gentlemen, it will be very, very important that in your projects you do cite your work. So please make sure that we're doing that. Even though it's not going to be in the rubric, I will be looking for that as a separate grade. You have your design process and product creation. You have your brainstorming ideas. So once again, this is going to be a classwork grade so that you'll be doing on both Google Classroom and in Defined Learning. You have your check-ins, which once again, classwork, homework grade. And then finally, upon completion of the project, when it's due, you will be completing your final reflection piece on either Google Classroom, on both Google Classroom and on your Defined Learning website. But other than that, guys, look out for the watch out for your Google Forms so you guys can take a look at over the weekend which project option would be most beneficial for you and which you would feel most comfortable doing. Remember that there is a writing one, there is a research Google slide one, and then the design diagram option is more inclined for the artistic group. So if you feel that you can think in terms of creating a model either on paper or a 3D model, that option may be beneficial for you. So this is very similar to what we would have done in class. So let me know if you have any questions, and I will send a video making sure that the rubrics are working. In the event that the rubrics are not on here, I will make sure to attach the rubric to each project so you can take a look at it. Overall, ladies and gentlemen, the project is worth a total of 85 points. So this is not a project that you want to skimp out on. Other than that, guys, continue to work hard. I'm very proud of everybody who has been working. Remember that you can reach out to me. I'm here pretty much all day, and for the most part, from 9 to 12, I'm able to talk to you as much as I can. So shoot me an email, shoot me a Google Hangout if you have any other questions. All right, guys. Talk to you soon.